Here's the next video on arithmetic sequence, which might just give you a little bit more indication of what you need to do on some of these. So the first thing is I'm going to write down the formula. So we have the a sub n equals a sub 1, which is our first term, plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, so this is the formula that we're going to be using. Now, if I'm given a sequence right here, we have 5, 3, 1, -1, -3. So if I want to find my first term, because I need to find my terms to fit in here, so my a sub 1 term is going to be the first term. Well, 5 is obviously the first term in the order of numbers. So 5 is my a sub 1. So now the only thing I need to find is d, and then I can solve. So to find d, I need to find the common difference. Remember, d equals the common difference in the numbers. Okay, so since it's the common difference, what is the difference between 5 and 3? Well, to go from 5 to get 3, I have to subtract 2. And then from 3 to 1, I subtract 2. From 1 to -1, subtract 2. -1 to -3, subtract 2. So, since it's always -2, -2, -2, -2, that's going to tell me that my d is -2. Now I have a1 and I have d, so I can put it into my formula. A sub n equals my a1 term, which is 5, plus n minus 1 times my d, which is -2. Okay, you can write that -2 before the n minus 1. That's fine too. Okay, so now I just solve. So I'm going to distribute, and I have 5 plus -2 times n is -2n. -2 times -1 is a plus 2. Okay, so I simplify by putting my 5 and my 2 together, giving me -2n plus 7. So a sub n equals -2n plus 7. And that is your final answer for the nth term of the sequence. Okay, so for this next one, same thing. We're given a list of numbers, a sequence of numbers, and my formula, a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1, or n minus 1 times d, same thing. It does not matter which way you go. Okay, so I need to find a sub 1, and I need to find my d. Okay, so my d is my common difference. A sub 1 is my first term. My first term is the first thing that comes. 1, 8, 15, 22, 29. The first term is 1. So that means a sub 1 is 1. Now the next one is d. We need to find our d, the next thing. So common difference is my d. Okay, so what is my common difference? To go from 1 to get to 8, we have to add 7. To go from 8 to get to 15, we add 7. So I'm kind of seeing a pattern here. Add 7. Add 7. So it seems like the difference between the numbers, the common difference, the thing that changes every single time, is I add 7. So my d is a positive 7. Okay, now I have all the information I need to put into my formula. So I say a sub n equals my a sub 1, which is 1, plus my d, which is 7, times n minus 1. And it should always be n minus 1 right there. Now I distribute, so I have 1 plus 7n minus 7 by distribution. 7 times n, 7 times -1. And the last step here is to actually simplify. So I put 1 and -7 together, and a sub n equals 7n. 1 minus 7 is a -6. 7n minus 6, and that is your final answer. This next one's a little bit trickier maybe because it's a word problem, An online auction is selling an iPod. The bidding begins at $15 and then goes up by 8 with each bid. Write a formula to represent the bids as an arithmetic sequence. Okay, so we know it's an arithmetic sequence, so I have to use a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. I have to use that formula because it's arithmetic. What is the amount of the 13th bid? So then I need to find a sub 13. That's what that means. Okay, so that's at the end. First I need to find my sequence here. So it begins at 15. Well, if that's where it starts, then a sub 1 is the starting point, so that's 15. Now, what is the difference? D is how it changes. Okay, so how does it change? It changes by going up by 1. So that by 8. So that means plus 8. Okay, so I have a sub 1 and I have d, so I can put it into my formula. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus 8 times n minus 1. Okay, so when I solve that, I do my distribution and I have 15 plus 8n minus 8. And a sub n equals, when I put my 15 and my negative 8 together, 8n plus 7. And that is your nth term, or your arithmetic sequence. And now I need to find a sub 13. So to find a sub 13, I just need to put 13 in for the n. So I'm going to come up here and write 8. Well, I'm going to put 13 in for my n, so times 13 plus 7. And then I just solve. 8 times 13 is 104 plus 7. So that would be a sub 13 equals 111. What does that mean? That means the 13th bid is $111. That's what that means. So those are your two answers for this problem. So those are the notes over the second video of the arithmetic sequence. This will just help you clear up some different ideas on how to use the arithmetic sequence. Go through the practice problems. Make sure you can do the word problems on these, and then you should be ready for your quiz over this subject.